Hey, it's a really timely piece by my buddy Anthony Iannarino. You should be following him on Twitter or his website too. He's really great. Stuff is fantastic. He's a prolific writer. Four rules for overcoming objections in a downturn. In an economic downturn, the objections you hear are different than what you hear when the economy is humming along nicely, making it easy for most companies to grow. In good times, objections usually mask a more significant concern, meaning that the words, "Can you try me back next month?" is hiding the fear. I don't believe this is worth my time. That's generally when people don't want to talk to you. That's what they really think. Your job is to get them to see the value in meeting with you and taking a look at what you're doing. Your contacts use tried and true objections to achieve two outcomes. The first outcome is the ability to exit the conversation, ending it before it even starts. The second is to avoid the commitment you are asking them to make. In a recessionary period, the objections are real, as in the real and present danger to your dream client's business. One of the ways people protect themselves when things are uncertain is to avoid making decisions, trying not to make things worse, often believing that spending any money is a bad decision, even if it would improve their position. Be empathetic. These are four rules for overcoming objections in the downturn. Number one, be empathetic and compassionate. Recognize your contact's fear is real, as is the danger. Your clients and prospective clients are facing real threats to their business. They may shut down, or their clients and customers might be shut down, putting their business at extreme risk. They may be expiring, rapidly shrinking orders, and losing clients or customers. They might be closing locations, laying people off, or taking pay cuts. Empathy is recognizing their fear and the stress they're feeling now. Compassion, however, requires that you do something to try to help your clients, even when it's difficult, even when they can't yet imagine a positive ending. If you believe that selling is doing something for someone and with someone and not something you do to someone, then you need to try to help, even if it means there's no opportunity until your client can start taking action to begin the recovery. There is work you should be doing on their behalf before they have even started. Next, be extraordinarily patient. You're going to need to keep selling in a downturn. If you can help people improve their businesses in good times, it's even more critical that you do so during difficult times. But to do so, you're going to have to be extraordinarily patient. The people the companies call on in B2B sales often need time to stabilize their business and process the events that they're experiencing. It is something like Kubler-Ross stages of grief, starting with denial, then anger, then bargaining, then depression, and then finally acceptance. It's impossible to tell what stage someone is in when you call them, let alone the other stakeholders that would be necessary to gain consensus on any initiative you might propose. You can guess that selling early in a recession is going to result in speaking to people who are still processing the events, the consequences, and what it means. As your contacts move past their emotional responses, they're going to start looking towards their future and start looking for ways to recover their business. Whatever you do, don't rush decisions and don't push. In doing so, you're likely to create more considerable anxiety and resistance to any conversation you might have about their future. Next is be future-oriented. Engage, but make everything about what you might do in the future. You're going to have to go slower, go faster, go fast later, unless you have an idea that is time-sensitive, meaning an opportunity that must be done now or cannot be done at all. Your conversations are going to have to be about what you can do to help your client to survive and recover their business in the future. There's no reason for you not to be asking for phone calls and video meetings to share what the recovery plan might look like, the plans and the resources you're offering, as well as what some of your other clients and companies are doing to improve their position. You remove anything that might feel like pressure when you acknowledge that they may not be in a position to do anything right now, but that you want to share with them resources and help when they start to work on the recovery plans. Next is put survival first. Prioritize your client's survival or growth and other value positions. There's a value proposition maybe most of your clients find most attractive during a downturn, and certainly at the beginning stages. That value proposition is to survive the recession and make it safely to the other side. We sometimes forget what we sell, even when it's valuable. Doesn't move the needle during periods like this. A very popular software company called me to offer me the web version of their software, believing it would be valuable to me, as many people are now working from home. It was a decent theory, but not something that someone who is trying to survive is likely to find compelling. You have to think about your clients' priorities, not what you sell. Your clients are already compelled by something. Survival at first, recovery second. They're tone deaf if you don't recognize their value proposition and speak to it. Now more than ever, it's crucial that you be other-oriented, patient, professional, and consultative. It's also necessary that you do what you can to help your clients and prospective clients recover their business sooner rather than later. Well, if you're in Primerica, I look to a lot of you that are listening to this call are in Primerica. One of the most important things is just letting people know what you can do for them. I mean, there's a lot of people that still have jobs. They're still fortunate enough to be working and have income. Their income hasn't been gone away. And one thing I found also is that people in this pandemic time are not spending very much money. I know I'm not. My American Express bill is down like 90%. I mean, basically what I'm buying now is food and, entertainment. We're watching things, from home, all the, Netflix, etc. And so we're not going out. We're not spending money. I haven't been spending any money because there's nowhere to go and there's nothing to buy at this point. So people have more money. A lot of people, not everybody, but a lot of people. So one of the most important things for you to be doing is this prospecting, contacting people. I know Zoom is the way to, this environment. We're having incredible and amazing success with Zoom. From a sales standpoint, from a training standpoint, from a recruiting standpoint, Zoom has just been just a lifesaver. It's just been incredible. I had my biggest March ever right in the middle of this pandemic, and we're having a good month this month also in April. This is 2020 I'm speaking right now. So even during this time, there still is opportunity. And even if people aren't able, making contacts and saying, look, when things turn around, can I have permission to recontact you and see how I can help you, emerge from this situation in a much better shape, and maybe help you put you in a position so the next time something like this happens, you're prepared for it and you have, a safety valve, you have emergency fund, and you're in better shape financially. Because one of the things that, we concentrate on is helping people get debt free. I mean, one of the things that I think everybody would be very, very open to. Imagine if you didn't have debt right now in this situation, you'd be in much, much better shape, even if your income were cut. And the other thing is, imagine if you had a second source of income, just in case your primary source gets, cut off from you. Yeah, there's a second source of income that you could potentially earn money, even though the economy is turned down. And so there's a lot of ways, but one thing that you have to do is you have to be very, very proactive, and you need to be prospecting all the time, whether it's on the phone or through Zoom or whatever. Prospecting is the key.